So in this video, I'm going to be using Felix here. He's just a little over a year old. He's a Belgian Malinois from my Sophie and Nero A litter last year. And he's a little rusty, so we're going to be working on some obedience training. It's going to be pretty simple, but we're going to be using operant conditioning, primarily using the clicker today. Now what that means is, whenever you hear positive and negative in operant conditioning, it simply means, nope, here, couche. It simply means that positive and negative, you're adding or subtracting something from that equation. Reinforcement means you're doing something to that equation that's going to create a behavior or to make that behavior happen more often. Punishment means you're doing something to that equation to stop a behavior or make it happen less. So whenever you hear me say positive reinforcement, it actually means I'm adding something to the equation to make sure that behavior happens more, such as using the clicker and treats. Now, negative punishment means I'm removing something from the equation to stop a behavior from happening, and in this case it's going to be disobedience or not focusing. So just to demonstrate this real quickly, if I tell him to sit, he'll sit. When he sits, I will click as a form of communication with him, letting him know he did exactly what was expected, and then I will reinforce that with a treat. So then he learns that if he sits on command, he gets that positive reinforcer, which is the treat. If he does not, then I will not click, but I will use my verbal marker, nuh-uh. And nuh-uh simply means you didn't do it, try again, but you're not receiving that treat. So I'm removing the treat from the equation for him for being disobedient, okay? So let's give it a shot here. Felix, I see. Good. I see. Nuh-uh. He didn't sit on command, so I said nuh-uh and walked away. Now in his mind, he's like, but I really wanted that treat. So when I come up, he'll be more prone to sit on command. I see. Good. Good. And if worst case scenario happens, I can always revert back to luring. So now I'm going to give him the down command. Couche. And there it is. I see. Couche. Tabou. Now with his stand command, he's a little rusty on, so he does need a little bit of luring for that. Couche. I see. Tabou. Now I'm going to release him and move him to the bench. Felix, climb. I see. Couche. Couche. I'm going to move to the other side of the bench just to get him a little bit nimble here. I see. Good. Couche. And it's also important whenever you're using verbal markers, I use nuh-uh as the try again or negative reinforcement marker, because if I say nope, it sounds too much like no, and no is the positive punishment marker, which means he's getting a correction. So I don't want him confused and mishear me. So I want that clear communication. The clearer your communication and training language is with your dog, the faster they're going to understand things and the faster they're going to learn. I see. Couche. Nuh-uh. See, he wanted to down, but he didn't. So I simply said nuh-uh and walked away. Couche. And because I did so, he's like, man, I really wanted that treat. I really wanted it bad. It tastes so good. And the fact that I said nuh-uh and walked away, he's like, man, I probably should have listened to him then. I see. Couché. I want to release him into the place now. Felix, place. Assis. Find. Whenever I drop a treat where they can get to it, I always like to add in the find command, because if you just drop the treat and have them forage around for it, then they're going to learn nose down behavior and start rummaging the training fields or training area for other possibilities of finding another treat. So I want to put that on command so it makes it seem like I did it on purpose, and he'll put that focus back on me. Couché. A little slow, but I'll take it because he did it. Assis. I'll do a couple recalls and put him in the heel position. Felix, here. And I'm not fronting him or anything. I just want him to come to me because I'm going to form that later. Au pied. Good. Au pied. And here I just want him to get in the basic positions of heel. And then what I will do is I'll say, au pied, take a step, assis. Au pied, 2 steps, assis. So that way he gets used to being right there with me. Au pied. Find, find. Good. Assis. Au pied. Au pied. Nuh-uh. Au pied. There. Climb. I'm not going to stress him out over the heel quite yet, because I'm going to form that in another video. But I just want him to be very operant, which means I want him to understand this game, so that way he'll start offering behaviors on his own if I don't say anything. And that's really good when you have small puppies. When you have a treat in your hand, they know you have a treat in your hand, and they just start sitting, downing, standing, getting into heel, doing all these positions because they're saying, what do you want? What do you want me to do? And that's when you know you're ready to further training a little bit. Couché. Tabou. Nuh-uh. So I tried to lure him and get him into stand, and he didn't. So I'm just going to walk away. Tabou. Good. Good boy. Assis. Couché. Tabou. Assis. Couché. Tabou. Good. I'm going to release him into a place. Place. Good. And just remember, place means all 4 feet. This is not a touch command. Assis. Find. Good. Couché. Good. Assis. Tabou. Assis. And the flies are pretty bad out here, so they're getting to us both. Yeah. Tabou. Good. Assis. Couché.